College football's in the air. We're talking about cashing tickets, beating that bookie, and we're talking about doing it in the Mountain West Conference. I'm joined once again from Drew Martin in Atlanta, Georgia, and as I said, we're continuing the Mountain West coverage. Today we're looking at San Jose State. Hey, Drew, first and foremost, good to have you back with us. This is a team that was 5-7 and still made it to a bowl last year, which they ended up winning, beat Georgia State. I think it was like 36-17. This is a team whose coach is 15-22 going into his fourth season. Okay, that spells hot seat to me. Now, there's one factor. Last year, this team was 7-3 against the spread. Do you see any way possible that this team could do the same against the spread this year?
Well, Brenner, I'm actually kind of down on San Jose State, and the reasons are they got to replace Tyler Irving. That's a whole lot of yards and a whole lot of touchdowns to replace on offense. He averaged over 200 all-purpose yards a game and 16 touchdowns over the course of the season. He heads to the NFL, a lot of production lost. They do, however, return 4 offensive linemen that were starters off of last year's squad, and a pretty good quarterback in Kenny Potter. He hasn't taken over games and won games for the Spartans last year, but he can spin it a little bit and make things happen with his feet, so some positives there. But the way this schedule plays out for the Spartans, Brenner, which I'm sure you've looked into, it doesn't play out very well for him.
Yeah, no, that schedule doesn't bode well for him. You know, Kenny Potter, and you couldn't have said it any more clear. Throughout the whole season, he was not demonstrative. He didn't take over games. He wasn't that guy. But in the bowl game when they won, he put together a good enough game to get him the bowl MVP. But one thing you said, and I'm telling you, it's the biggest reason I'm going to be fading this team as well, is Tyler Evans. He was a beast. He's in the NFL, and 200 and something all-purpose yards. You're not going to make that up right away overnight with someone new coming in. So with that being said, you're looking at a team that has a total team win total of 5.5. All right, minus 110 for the over, minus 110 for the under. Do you think at least this team could squeak out 6 wins?
You know, Brenner, I really don't, and I've bet them under. When you look at their schedule, they start off their first 4 games all out of conference. It's possible they lose all 4. They got Tulsa, Portland State, who is an FCS team, but that's the same Portland State team that beat North Texas by almost 60 points and went into Washington State and beat the Cougars in Pullman. So I wouldn't chalk that up as a win. And when you look at their other 2, they got Utah and Iowa State. Those are all 4 teams that they could lose to. They do have a positive in the bottom of the Mountain West Division is pretty weak. They can get all those wins, but at the same time, from the Mountain Division, they pull 3 of the top 4 teams. So those are all really tough games. They got Air Force, they got Boise, New Mexico. They could drop all of those games as well. And if it does go downhill, Brenner, they got 10 straight games before their bye week. So they don't have a lot of time to regroup and really have a positive season if it goes downhill. So no, I like San Jose State under their season win total of 5.5.
I like the breakdown. I like the fact that, you know, they're going 10 weeks before their break. They're going to be feeling it. 8 offensive starters coming back, 7 defensive starters coming back, and as you touched on, a hell of a schedule to boot. And if you just throw on top, you got a coach that's on the hot seat. That means he's going to be pressing. He's going to be pressing. He's going to be riding that quarterback's ass pretty hard. Here's another thing, all right? If quarterback gets hurt, all right, Kenny Potter goes down, this team's in trouble because of the fact most of the yards did come from the running back, okay, last year with Tyler Evans. So I think this is a team that might be in trouble pretty quick out of the gate, like you said, because of their schedule. But I also think it's going to be a team to fade as far as totals, and that's my opinion. What do you think on fading this team as far as totals because the defense is going to be giving up a lot of points?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their defense, last year they gave up over 5 yards per rush. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They do return a lot on the defensive line, but when you return guys that weren't productive, I never really looked to back that profile. So I agree with you.
I like that. I like that one. All right, viewers, that's a good way to go out. You heard it. San Jose State. This is a team that you should fade. Definitely the team total, which is set at 5.5. Okay, this team be lucky to get 4 wins. And also take a look at a defense that's getting pounded against the run game, and the passing game's probably going to be hurting them as well. All right, that's the way we cash tickets. We break it down. Drew, thanks so much for being with us. I can't wait till college football starts, buddy. I'm ready to pay some bills with the bookies' money, and I'm ready to just kick his ass with my partner.
All right, Brenner, thanks for having me on, man. And Spartans under 5.5 wins.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.